We are ready and set to go. We have an incredible class for you today, our challenge for day 2, right? And yesterday we shared a little bit about our stories. Good morning. Thank you for joining us. Good morning. Good morning. I see you guys on there. And it was such a fun day yesterday. We had a lot of great feedback. And today we got some more action steps for you. So it's gonna pretty much set you up on a path. We're gonna be talking today about products, like selecting what it is when it comes to your business, like what type of business do you want to have. We told you that for us, we're in the health and wellness industry, and it's something that we love and we're passionate about it. And so I'm going to briefly talk, well, not briefly, I'm actually going to be talking a lot about why the health and wellness industry and getting down to like what it is that you're passionate about, okay? So,
do you want to see if we can put it over there and see if it works?
Put what?
That over there?
Sure.
All right, so we're going to try something, you guys, because let me just show you all the gadgets we have, okay? We're like really live here. Let's see if this works, okay? We're at our office. No. Okay.
Or how about right there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why don't you just keep it?
Okay. Okay. So we're just finalizing a couple things, you guys. So no worries. All right. So yesterday, I felt that. Okay.
Keep going.
Okay. Yesterday, we just, you heard our stories. You heard about Carla and myself, and I don't know if you were able to either look at the assignment for the night or not, but Carla's gonna go Carla's gonna go over that in just a little bit, but I'm gonna be the one covering the topics today. And one of that is gonna be why the health and wellness industry, why we picked this business, and I'm gonna ask you a couple questions, and that's gonna help figure out for you. I want to say for the most part, if you're here and it's day 2, I'm going to assume that you are also into health and wellness, and maybe it's something that you're passionate about as well. All right. So I'm going to get right into it. Why health and wellness for us? For me, it was health and wellness because it all started with my own personal story, right? My own personal story where I was at the time in my life. And I had just gotten back from Iraq. And sometimes, typically what happens is someone selects a business. Sometimes a person they go into a business and it's not the business that they really love or are passionate about. Sometimes it's not your passion from the get-go, okay? I'll tell you right now that when I started my own business, it was not my passion from the get-go. As a matter of fact, I really hated health and wellness. And one of the things that happened with that, the reason why, was because I myself was struggling with my health completely. I was having such a hard time just keeping my health up, I was struggling with my weight. I was battling a food addiction. So no, I was not passionate about health and wellness. But what ended up happening was in the search of me growing myself and doing all my personal development, I began to find and develop a passion for helping people. And, part of that was I got overly consumed with healing myself, that I began to learn and really understand the benefits of health and fitness, and transitioning a lot of the negative mindsets that I had about fitness, nutrition, dieting and all of that, right? There was a lot of negativity that was associated in my mind with that. And that's kind of what got me started on my journey of entrepreneurship in the health and wellness field. I had tried many things. I had tried cleaning houses. I was definitely not my thing. I tried selling different things. And what I found was that I ended up building a business around something that I felt that I could do all the time. And again, it went through phases, right? It went through phases. I could do all the time. I knew that I wanted to be healthy for the rest of my life. I knew that had to be a part of my life, because it was who I was my bigger vision for myself, for my life, for my family was to be a healthy, active person. And then, I almost want to say it's like I fell into it, but there was a long period in time that I really disliked it. Okay, so I don't know for you where you're at this time in your life, if you've been thinking about launching your business, and now we're thinking about ideas like how do you pinpoint like what you want to do. And I told you I'm going to be using health and fitness because that's what I do. But here's a couple things to ask yourself. Number one is going to be, what is your why? Why do you want to start a business? Okay, why has that been on your mind? What about it is it that you want? What is it going to get you? What is it going to give you? What is it going to provide for you? Okay, so for me, I knew I did not want to go to a job and clock in like every day. I knew that I did not want to do that. But I also knew that I needed to have some type of plan to generate income, right? And so a big part of that was I knew that when I had my son, I wanted to have a flexible schedule. I wanted to be able to live life on my own terms. I wanted to be able to decide what my income was going to be. I didn't want someone to decide that for me. And I knew, like, in my mind, if I do these amount of sales per se, right? Because at the end of the day, you are doing sales. So I had to say, at the end of the day, I will do this amount of, if I do these amount of sales, I'm going to generate this amount of income. So the income potential pretty much was like huge, right? You could make whatever you want based on your level of what you're working on or what you put into it, right? If you put in a little bit of hours, remember I told you yesterday what my situation was for many, many, many years. I was just pretty much surviving in my business. I was an entrepreneur, but I was spending way more time hanging out, going to the gym than actually spending time building my business. And more than anything, not that I don't do that now, but now it's strategically, right? There's systems in place. I put myself inside a community where we all support each other to grow our businesses, and we have a system and a way to do what we do. Okay? So that's one. So what is your why? And maybe you want to take the time today to really think about, like, what is your why? What's going to cause you to get up in the morning and get your business going? Like, for me, it's just natural. I get up. You want to say something now?
No, good.
Okay, so Carla's here now.
Hi.
So we're just fixing things up. So your why, and if you feel you want to say anything, just interject. Your why is going to be key, okay? But aside from your why being key is that, let me see, someone is saying, okay, Zoom has been disconnected, it says.
We fixed it.
Okay, perfect. All right, so besides just knowing your why, is developing the habits and the steps that are going to cause you to follow through on your why. Because maybe you're very clear about your why already, and another reason why I chose health and wellness, because it's something that is growing and will constantly and forever, like, it's not going anywhere. People, as the years have gone by, fitness, nutrition, it has just gotten more and more popular because it's something that is needed and necessary, right? During this time with the pandemic and everything that's been happening, like, one of the things that we've said is, now more than ever, do you need to be on top of your health, right? Now more than ever. And the issue has been that it hasn't been that just like per se a weight issue, but more of a lifestyle situation, is how we tend to eat, the types of things that we do.
Get real close to you now, girl.
Okay, the types of things that we do. So it's not only about like what just weight loss per se, right? Because I don't ever like to just make it all about weight loss. Even though a lot of people, when they begin a fitness journey, that's pretty much a big part of why they begin. Sometimes they want to lose weight, but in the long run, in the big picture, in the long run, it's all about your health, right? Because if you begin to adapt healthy lifestyle, healthy habits, if you begin to show up differently and begin to live differently, then now the weight is going to naturally come off. It's going to be a byproduct of like the person that you're becoming, setting on a path of health and wellness. And I believe the overall commitment is to that life. And so that's why health and wellness was huge for me. I don't know about you, Carla. What was it for you? Your why and how you selected what business to get into.
What if we did it like this?
That's fine. Go ahead. So you can.
You want to put yours there?
No, it's okay.
Okay. All right, guys. So thank you for being patient. We are now in my office, so we have like 20,000 gadgets to make this happen. But, number one, be grateful, okay? Let's be grateful for what we have. Be grateful for Wi-Fi. Be grateful for Zoom. Be grateful for Facebook, because thanks to these amazing ways of communication, we are now able to do this with you. So I'm going to be looking back and forth. We got Zoom over there. We got Facebook over here, okay? So today's topic, like she was saying, was all about your products and your service. So one of the things that, for me, why I chose the health and wellness industry, there's a guy. So let me tell you, like I told you yesterday, I'm a little nerd, okay? And I loved economics when I was in college. I know most people don't like econ, but I loved it so much. I was actually student of the year for that subject, okay? And so my passion for that was really all about, like, how does the economy work? How does the world work, right? And, the supply and demand, and if somebody's on the line, I used to always say, that's an opportunity cost. What does all that mean? That means that there are principles when it comes to business and it comes to the economy that they're like principles like gravity, okay? And so there's a thing that we must understand, and that there's a thing called supply and demand. So if, for example, right, just this whole COVID thing happened, the demand for the face masks was really, really high, and the supply was really, really low. So guess what? If you were in the business of creating those products, your demand was so high that most companies didn't, I think, you could have jacked up your prices if you wanted to, right? Let's just say it wasn't a life or death situation, right? Because now we're getting all moral about it. But let's say it wasn't a life and death situation and the entire world needs your product. So the supply is really low, but the demand is really high. So what ends up happening is your product is very needed. Your business is in demand. Now, if you had, as an example, a boot camp, or you were a personal trainer, okay, during those times, our demand was high, but we couldn't do anything. So like, there goes that business, okay? So why are we bringing this up is because when you choose your business, you want to have that in mind. Now, is there like a demand for cups? Yes, but you have to understand that if you're only making cups, then you only have one stream of income coming in. Well, what happens when they say no more, what do you call this thing? Plastic shaker cups. No one can use it. Now you're done.
Right.
But what if you had plastic shaker cups and you were selling, I don't know, rubber bands? You'll be like, okay, well, this went out of business, but now I got this business. And why that is important is because when you choose your product, you want to keep that in mind. So health and wellness, regardless of the situation, regardless of the economy, regardless of whatever, is going to be something that people always need, okay, and have a demand for.
Absolutely. Sometimes
more than others, but it's always in demand. People need to eat. People need to take care of their health. And now when things are great, a lot of times, I don't know what you think about this, Sylvia, but when things are great, a lot of the times people stop taking care of their health.
Yeah.
But when things are not so great, for example, 9/11, boom, perspective. Oh my God, I gotta take care of my life. This whole COVID thing, boom, perspective. I don't know about you, Sylvia, but for the last 3 months that this whole thing has happened, I have never been so busy, okay? I've never made more leaps in my business. I'm just gonna say it. I've never made so much money like I've made these last few months. Now, I have a boot camp that got shut down, but the other part picked up. What about you?
Yes, so I really, really love the way you put it with the whole demand thing about the cups and
That's the nerd side of me.
Okay, so
Sylvia,
that is
I'm gonna give you some homework.
a really great way of putting it, guys. Because if you remember Blockbuster, right? Do you guys remember Blockbuster? Remember what happened to Blockbuster when Netflix came in? They were like gone, right? And so I'm gonna tell you that is like when Carla said that about the cups. It reminded me what has happened to the world as the years have gone by. Is that pretty much is what's happening to a lot of things. But when it comes to health and wellness and fitness, what has happened? What did you see happen when this pandemic hit? Which, like Carla said, I had a lot of 50% of my business, or maybe a little less than 50% of my business was in person. So the minute the pandemic hit, I remember walking to the gym one morning. You guys remember I work from home, but I have a gym in my facility. I walked to the gym that morning, and I'm expecting all my clients to come in the next 20 minutes, like 20 of them, and it says closed due to the COVID-19, and I'm like looking lost, right? But immediately what happened to me in that moment was, let me think of a solution. Okay, let me think of a solution. Okay, I called everyone, that happened. But the other part was, I have another stream of income, which is my nutrition part of my business. So because I've had the workouts and the nutrition component, I wasn't like one of those trainers where I just shut down my business and I lost all my income. Like Carla, I have worked more now than I have in the last year. And I had been saying for I don't know how long that I wanted to take my business all online. Well, guess what? The COVID made me get to work.
Your wish was your commit. Was it? Yeah. That thing.
So, yes, I pretty much was like pushed into it. And sometimes that's what happens when stressful situations happen. You get pushed into what you should have been doing. And so back to the health thing, what Carla was saying is, yeah, when times are bad and when times are rough, that is when a lot of people are like, okay, now I need to step up on my health. Now I need to really step up. It was almost like in the last, I want to say even in the last month, where at first people were like, oh yeah, I'm going to be, I'm at home, I can't work out. That was like the first phase of the grieving process of COVID, right? Like, I can't believe this is happening. Then you begin to accept it. Then the next phase is, I am not going to be working out at home. I can't do anything. And then the next phase was, oh, darn it. Like, this thing is going really, really long. I've gained a lot of weight. My health is being impacted. Who do I start reaching out to get me back on track? And that's where we got even more busier, right? But with all that said, a big part of that boils down to you. Like, where does that sit for you as far as your own, health and wellness and building your business, For our business, yeah, it is going to be in demand all the time. Because, yeah, maybe working out is considered what you call, or having a trainer, a luxury. But because we have a partnership with a nutrition company, taking care of your health is not a luxury. That is something that you have to do. That is something we all have to do. And like I always say, and I say this to all my clients, it doesn't matter what business you're into, what kind of work you do. It doesn't matter. If you don't take care of yourself, at some point you pay a price for that. There's always a price for that. And the price is either you're too exhausted to do anything. By the time you come home from your business or from your job, you're beyond exhausted to even deal with your family, or you don't feel good about yourself because you're not taking care of yourself to your maximum potential. And it impacts all the areas of your life. So it's not just about I want to look good. But if you look good, if you feel good, you're going to be able to do a lot more than if you're missing that component, right? Mm-hmm. So anything else you want to add to that?
So the only thing that I would say is in regards to that, and that is that when you're choosing, I'm pulling up the homework. Mm-hmm. Hold on. I'm pulling up, what do we call it?
The action steps.
Okay, so pulling up the action steps that we emailed you yesterday. if you did not get the email, just not now, but when we're done, go back to the Facebook page and there's a post that says, here's the link, okay? Click on that link, fill it out, and we'll send it to you. But yesterday, we sent you some questions, and I call them the discovery questions. So I don't know if you guys know, but besides working with Herbalife Nutrition, I also teach multicultural entrepreneur women. And it's a program that they do for 6 months. It's amazing. If you're interested, we'll definitely send you the link. You guys can apply for that. But that has nothing to do, I just teach. It's not my program. But anyway, so I gave you guys a little piece of what I give them. And that is the part of, you want to write this down. You want to have the product and the service that you are interested in exposing to the world. You want it to be aligned with your values and your purpose.
Absolutely.
Because, like I said yesterday, right? I don't know what to tell you. Like, I don't know, these flowers. Okay, perfect. I'm not an interior designer. I don't even consider myself creative, nor am I passionate about it, nor do I feel it's a purpose. Now, the person that helped me decorate my office, you should have seen her. She was like, oh my God. I was like, God, she's so passionate about it. So it becomes natural. So what the questions that I send you, if you didn't get the homework, the action steps, okay? These were the questions. What do you want your life to look and feel like? Okay, and this is so important. If you have something to write down, write this down. What do you want your life to look and feel like? This is so important because in these days, we're starting to put those stepping stones for you to be able to launch it. You want to say something?
No, I will.
Okay, so what do you want your life and that's the first question, okay? Now, why is that important? Because as you're designing your business, we talked about this yesterday. The one thing you must have, there's a lot of things, but the one thing you must have is you must have a burning desire, because building a business is no joke. Especially because I think, Sylvia, the biggest thing, I don't know about you, but I think the biggest challenge about having a business is the fact that you're dealing with people. Like, I don't care if you're selling rubber bands. At the end, someone's got to buy them. And so you're dealing with the buyer and the whatever. So every time you're working with people, you're working with all kinds of personalities, all types of different temperaments. Like, people are people. So what's going to happen is people's personalities are going to shift. And one day they're happy and one day they're not. Okay, so that is the biggest thing. So if you don't have this burning desire for what you're doing, you're going to be like I always say, things are going to take you off your track. Always. Mm-hmm. Things are going to take you off your track. And the first time something takes you off your track, if you're not passionate about what you're doing, if you're not clear about why you're doing it, and if you're not like, I really want to do this, that time that people take you off your track, you're going to stay off the tracks. So, yes, I get off my tracks all the time. But guess what? It lasts like maybe a day or two, maybe a week. But I get right back on my tracks because I'm crystal clear that this is what I love to do. So that is question number one. What do you want your life to look and feel like? So the reason why Sylvia and I chose the health and wellness is because we wanted our life to look good, to feel amazing, okay? I wanted to have a business that I am passionate about and that I felt good, that gave me the time, the freedom, and I'm just gonna say it. Ladies, especially those of you that are women on the line, sometimes women have problems when it comes to money. And what I mean by problem is you don't feel good about having it or asking for it or talking about it. That was me. Something shifted like a year or two ago. Well, should I tell them what? Okay, I'm gonna tell you what shifted in me. A few years ago, and this is relevant to your burning desire. I love what I do. I love working with Herbalife Nutrition. I love it because it gives me great products that I don't have to create. They take care of everything. They manage my business. It gives me unlimited potential of income depending on my hard work. I can do this business in 94 countries. The company's amazing. The culture's amazing. Everything's amazing. It's aligned with me. But about 2 years ago, Sylvia, something shifted. So I'm going to tell you guys, I'm an executive presidency member with Herbalife. And, I make good money. But my husband and I, we lived in this apartment near this house, near my facility. We were pouring all the money back into our business. And then my lovely accountant, if you're on the line, okay, he's like the person that like gets under my skin. So I was like, Tony, I want to buy this house. And he's like, well, he said whatever he said, right? He's like, you can't afford it. I'm like, what do you mean I can't afford a house? And he's like, you can't afford it. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, look at your taxes, because when you're a business owner, you can write off a lot of things legally. And so he goes, you just can't afford it. He's like, you got to make more money. And I was like, oh no, vas a ver. So the passion came out at a whole nother level. The passion came out at a whole nother level. I started to think, what am I going to do? 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 And I took my business and doubled it in less than 6 months. Okay? Now, if I was not passionate about what I'm doing, if I was not driven with what I'm doing, I don't know if I could have brought out that inner fire like I did. I don't know. But because I wanted my life to look and feel a certain way, it just brought out this whole other woman inside of me. So this is why it's so important that when you choose your product and your service, I don't know if you guys can feel my passion, you can't fake it. Yeah. You can't be like, I love rubber bands. Like, I don't know. What do you think, Celia?
Well, I want to say, and this is funny because so I listened to Carla's story and I'm like, wow, my brain is so different. Like my mind is like so different. And maybe you'll find yourself like relating to what she just shared. That definitely was not me. Okay. As I shared with you earlier, and I love what she shared about Herbalife because yes, oh my God, in my journey of like starting my training business. So I had a training business for many years, but guess what? I joined with Herbalife in 2010 and I got my little pin the other day that said that I've been a loyal client since 2010 till now. I've been taking the supplements, right?
10 years.
Yes. So I'm I call it a proud owner. But what I want to say about that is that, look, along my path, I was using the products, but I wasn't like building my business like the way that Carla was. And in the process of doing that, I started other businesses on the side, like to try and generate more money. Like, oh, I want to make a shirt that has like my brand on it, but now I have to go buy the shirt. Now I have to go find the person to make me the shirt that's going to have my brand on it. So now I could go sell the shirt. So it almost like tripled the work, right? That's one thing, okay? So yes, I love the fact that Herbalife is like a whole entire system and provides us everything, okay? That's one. The other thing that I want to say that Carla shared was that she had a burning desire. I didn't have that burning desire. I had the burning desire that I did not want to be broke. That was my burning desire. My burning desire was way different than hers. My burning desire was I do not want to be broke. I went to the military. I do not have a college degree. I knew that I wanted to make plus beyond 6 figures. I knew that I knew how to work hard. I knew that I knew how to talk. I knew how to sell. I was passionate about something, but that passion wasn't what woke me up every single day. What woke me up was, if I don't do this, what am I gonna do with my life? What am I gonna do? Like, I'm not gonna go work at some job and company and like be there as like, in my mind, it associated to just being like enslaved to like a job for the rest of my life. It's not me. I told you yesterday that since I was a little girl, I was selling cosmetics. I would sell like everything that you could think of, cosmetics, candy. I would collect cans and collect all these cans and go sell them. So I knew that I did not want to be in a job, 1. 2, I knew that I needed to stick to something. Okay? So for you, maybe you feel overwhelmed at the thought like you're gonna double, triple your business. Like maybe that's not you. That was not me for a long time. I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do. But I will tell you this, having the right people on your side, the right mentors, the right group community is gonna help you sort that out. I think if anything that has helped me along the way has been having people that really have my back. Like regardless, like Carla is one of those people. She has had my back regardless if I was like, it didn't matter. She has always like, we've always been there for each other, and she's always been that person like, okay, with open arms, right? And that's what you need. Maybe you're not there yet. Maybe you want to start a business, but you're like, I can't go all out. I need to have like my job still on this side, and as I build my business part-time. And maybe that's you. I knew for me, for a long time, that's what I needed to do. I needed to keep my training business going. That's the one that I built a 6-figure business on. You know, I built a structure and I got my business up and going, and I got a system, and it took off in 1 year. And then on the side of that, I had my Herbalife nutrition business on the side. You know, if you've ever worked with a coach, and I've worked with coaches for many years, nutrition coaches, you pay them $300 for a diet, you guys. I used to do this. You pay them $300 for a diet. All they give you is a paper, and they tell you, go follow this paper. And then in a week from now, 2 weeks from now, check in with me. And here you go, all excited with your little diet.
With your paper.
With your paper that you're going to go to the grocery store and go buy your meal plan, right? You're going to go buy your food. And you pay for that. The amazing part, what had happened in my business, is that with using the Herbalife nutrition with my clients, so I have a client base here, and then now I get to tell my client, hey, for this amount, not only are you gonna get this like nutritional guidance, community support, but you're also gonna get your supplements, right? And you guys know firsthand, if you're into fitness or nutrition, that when you go to like some nutrition store, what you get is an employee that's just there and doesn't really know much about like what he's like selling to you. And the beauty about like our business is that we get trained, we get shown, we know how to teach our clients, the people we work with. We follow it ourselves. So we're our first like primary result. So I wanted to say all that just to say that maybe you find yourself in either one of our situations when it comes to your business. Maybe for me, like I always say, you want to know what gets me up in the morning is the fact that if I don't go to work, my son will not eat. My son will not eat. I'm his primary provider. And so you think that that's going to excite me to get up, feel good? I got up this morning, I put my personal development on, had my tea, did my makeup, saw my clients while still having my son at home, right? And I was right there. That is my burning desire. I get to live in a nice place that I love. I feel secure. Yours may be different. You may want to make an extra 500, 1,000. Maybe that might grow later on. And you have a desire to stop working. Maybe you need an extra money just for your car payment. I don't know. Right? So wherever that is for you, I want you to understand that your journey is going to be specific to you. It might be way different than hers, and it might be way different than mine. But if you can get clear on like your what, your why, it's going to be a lot easier for you to decide like when those hard times do come, why you need to get up and go, right? So I wanted to just
So my accountant just logged on. Tony, I was talking about you. He was. So thank you for saying that. So just to let you guys know, right? So I wanted to share, and this is, I got so many comments. Thank you to everybody who reached out that you really enjoyed yesterday. They're like, you guys were so funny, and just because this is just us. But here's the thing, right? So we are so different. Because yes, 90% of the people on this line, you want to start a side hustle to supplement your income, right? Now, some of you might be where I was when I started my business. I had no job. I had nothing. So the reason I went so hard was because I had nothing else. I didn't have a job. So some of you guys, you got to be responsible. You want to start your side hustle. You don't want to leave your job. You want to do a side hustle in addition. When? Find the time. Some people sleep. Now, this is my personal philosophy. Some people sleep way too much. Way too much. Okay? So if you really, really, really want to do it, you'll find a way. You wake up a little bit earlier. You'll go to bed, later. So one of the things that Sylvia said the other day, so you said on the call on Sunday, she talked about how important it is to get yourself ready. And I'm guilty. I'm like, Dios mío, right? And she's like, I wake up early and I get myself ready before my son gets up, because trying to get him ready and get myself ready, it's crazy. I was like, that's normally me. I'm like, Sebastian, I'm like getting ready while he's getting him ready. But guess what? Now, since Sunday, Sylvia, I've gotten ready before Sebastian got ready. So what does that have to do with your business? Everything. That the moment you hear something that is applicable, you apply it right away. Yeah. So in other words, for me, it was getting ready. For you, it might be starting your side hustle. For you, it might be creating, a marketing campaign. For you, it might be posting. For you, it might be whatever. So you got to start earlier than everybody else wakes up. So that way, because once chaos happens in the house, you're like, I have no time. Yes, you do. You got to find it. You got to look for it. There's so much time that we waste on social media, on Netflix or whatever, okay? So that was the first question from the action steps that we emailed you. Mm-hmm. The second question was, what do you value most? What's important to you? So we kind of already covered that, okay? And last was, what matters most at this point in your life? Okay, so when you're creating a product and you're choosing your product and your service, go through these 3 questions, because as you get to know yourself better, as you get, like Sylvia said yesterday, the more you're good with you, the more you're good with yourself, the better you're going to be out there in the marketplace. So in all these questions that we send you guys, one of the things I want you to think about is this. Write this question down. What's that idea that I've always had that I've never put into action? You all have one. What is that idea that I've always had that I haven't put into action? I'll tell you mine. This. I've had the idea of doing something like this since last October. October 2019. I had this idea of I want to create a program or something for just, no offense, gentlemen, okay? But for just women. And a specific type of woman. Okay, now I'm going to go. Sylvia's going to correct me right now. She's going to be like, some of you are not like her. But I wanted a specific type of woman. I wanted a woman that was self-driven. Meaning yes, I love it when she motivates me and I motivate her. But if she doesn't show up, I'm not like, I need someone to motivate me. No, like yo misma. Or I'll just call my ridiculous accountant. I'll talk to Sylvia. I talk to my friend Jay. There are people in my life that I know if I call them, they make me feel uncomfortable. Now that's me. That might not be you. But on me, I get driven. She'll correct me right now, okay? But I get driven when people challenge me. I'm like, vas a ver. Tony, I know you're on the line. Cuando tú me dijiste, you can't afford a house. I'm like, watch. That's me. Some of you don't work that way. Some of you are more like, I need pleasure. For me, pain motivates me, okay? So what's that idea that you've wanted to do, but that you haven't gotten the courage to do it? Okay? Now, write that idea down. It took me, I had this idea October, November, December, January. Wait, was it October? November, December? Yeah. November, December, okay? And then December 14th, I got a group of women and we did this thing called Project Woman. December 14th. It was great, okay? But it still wasn't it. And then, so now we're like January, February, March, April, May, June. So from my original idea, okay, took me 8 months to put it into action. Mm-hmm. So our intention is for you not to wait 10 years, 8 months, or 5 years that it took me to get out of my slump when I went like this. I told you about that yesterday. But 8 months it took me to implement it. Why? Because I wasn't crystal clear on the person I wanted to have, who I wanted to collaborate. So many people yesterday messaged me. They're like, you and Sylvia are so different. I'm like, why do you think we work well together? Like, how boring would it be if we were both the same? Right here, some of you guys are like, that girl crazy, Carla, she crazy. Some of you guys might be like, that girl Sylvia, she crazy. Some of you guys like her, some of you guys like me, some of you guys like both of us. It doesn't matter. The point is, we're here to give you an idea of how to launch your business. So number one, what is that idea that you've had that you haven't gotten the courage to implement? Okay. Number two, what is stopping you? Write it down. What is stopping you? Some of you, what stops you, and Sylvia is an expert with this, is yourself. Mm-hmm. Is yourself. Es el que dirán. What are people going to say about me? Who cares?
So, and I'm going to say something. I read this the other day and I loved it. People are constantly, especially this day and age with the whole social media stuff, we're a little older, so we're catching up on this whole social media.
As you can tell, you guys, we're like having all these problems.
Yeah, we're not used to this.
But just thanks for hanging in there. Zoom already went off again.
And you got to understand, though, you guys, we do have online businesses, okay? This doesn't keep us from having our online business.
We're just not experts.
Yeah, we're not experts, but you don't have to be an expert, okay? You don't have to be an expert. My point, what I was saying was that, God, I lost my train of thought.
That's the product and services that we have. That what drives you. Somebody remind us.
I forgot what I was going to say, and it was important. What were you talking about first, though?
Oh, nothing. That you have to have a burning desire because people are not going to always agree. And you're so concerned about what are people going to think about me. Who cares? And then you interrupt.
Oh, yes. Okay, so the Instagram thing I read, it said your greatest hater, because there's a lot of people out there that want to have they have a business idea. Or maybe they're like excited. I'm going to start, get into the fitness industry. But you know what? I don't have the perfect body. I don't have this. I don't have that. What if my family sees me and they're like, oh, she's not even into fitness that way or whatever, okay? And one of the things that I read and I loved, it said, your greatest hater is yourself. You are your greatest hater. And I'm going to tell you, it's our own limited thinking. Like half the time, people don't even really know, people never really knew my story until I decided to finally start opening up about me struggling with food addiction and all of that, right? People just knew, I was gaining more weight than my clients when I was going through a food addiction, and no one ever had the nerve to ask me. They didn't ask me, what's happening with you? Why are you gaining more weight than me? No one had the nerve to ask me, but people still showed up to train. They still showed up to train. They still went in and got their workout. I was still working. At the time, I was working in a gym. But what I'm trying to say is you are your own worst enemy. You'll have an idea, and I want you to, here's a couple things I want to share with you. Is your mindset is going to make you or break you. Okay? Your mindset. Business is like anything, like relationships, it's like fitness, it's like any of these things, like parenting. It has its ups and its downs. In business, you're gonna make money, you're gonna not have money. Some days you're gonna scrape by. Some days, the same is with your fitness journey. On your fitness journey, you're gonna have weeks where you lose, months where you lose a lot of weight, months where you don't lose weight. But if you quit in that moment, what happens? You just quit, right?
You don't get the medal.
You don't get the medal. But when those downs happen, here's what I say about the downs. Run to them. You run toward them. You embrace them. I don't like the saying like grab life by the horns. I don't like that because I don't feel that about life. But what I say is whenever I see a challenge, I'm the type bring it on. Bring it on. And when I say bring it on, it knows I already know this is part of life. Nothing surprises me anymore. I've been through so much. I told you guys my life story yesterday. Since I was a little girl, my mom, I was born when my mom was 7 months pregnant. Why? She had witnessed, and I'm going to say this, okay? She witnessed a murder that morning.
Oh, wow.
And that next morning, I was born. So, look, nothing surprises me. Business is up and down. Your fitness journey, up and down. One day you're a really great mom. You feel super positive. The next day you're like, oh my God, I was a horrible mom today. Right? But you can't get stuck on that. So when I tell you your mindset is everything, it's going to make you or break you. It's going to be the reason why you stop or the reason why you launch. Your mind. The best thing you could do is take advantage of the people that you have around. Like Carla said, she reaches out to these people that she knows that are going to challenge her. And, for me, it's like my boyfriend. He doesn't cut me any slack. He's just kind of like, no, you could do way better than that. I'm like, no, look at me. I'm like, no. He's like, you're comparing yourself to the wrong thing. Up level. I'm like, okay.
Remind me not to be around him.
You gotta have those people in your life, right? You gotta have, and you gotta develop your mindset. So.
Okay, that's it. Call over. Just kidding. Yeah, so perfect. Okay, guys, so here's the deal, right? So what you want to do, okay, is as you're developing your product and your service, you want to be, somebody asked me to repeat the third question. By the way, you guys, we have we have 2 winners from yesterday's. Everyone that commented for every comment you did, you got an entry to the thingy. And for every share you did, you got 5 entries into the raffle. So we'll do that at the end, okay? So we're going to go 1 minute after 12 because we got to do that, but we're going to end at 12 sharp. So here are the 3 questions, okay? Number 1, as you're creating, because see, here's the thing, the document that I sent you guys, it talks about you come first. So one of the things you want to write this down is your business is inside of you. Your business is inside of you. It's not out there somewhere. It's not like, oh, this cup or these rubber bands, right? The business is inside of you. These are products and services that you're providing to the world. So why we keep drilling on for you to get to know yourself better is because that's going to allow you to pull out the best inside of you to be the best representation of this cup or whatever, okay? So, number 1, you want to discover your passion. What do you love? Like, and here's the thing I'm going to tell you guys, okay? So, I don't know if this is, well, it is true. People love when I public speak. They're like, I could hear you all day on stage. I'm not that good. I don't feel as powerful when I'm like one-on-one, okay? Why? I don't know. But if I'm on a stage, like this thing comes over me, I get passionate, I get like I'm in my element, okay? So why do I say that? Because that comes easy to me. Some people think, like for example, oh, going on stage is so hard, but for me it's not. So sometimes what comes easy to you, you have a tendency to dismiss because it comes so easy to you. Like for example, Sylvia's so good with the whole meal planning thing, I would not even know where to start, okay? So you don't want to, I have a friend who like can do manuals, like operation manuals for companies, like nothing. I'm like, wow. She's like, girl, it's so easy. I'm like, and she doesn't charge good money because it's so easy to her.
That's a good point.
So don't ever diminish your, I'm just going to say respect who you believe in, your God-given talent. I'm guilty of it too, okay? Because it comes so easy to me. Look, we're doing this for free. Right? Well, this is like our way of contributing to the world, okay? We love it. But so what is discover your passion. What comes so easy to you? And what comes easy to you, you want to make sure uncomfortable charging. Look, yes, I get it. Thank you for that, Yolanda. The reason why you're uncomfortable charging, well, I'll let her talk about that, okay? She has no problem with that department. But I did too, and the reason is because even though I'm a very competitive person, I'm very, very, very caring. Y como for me, things come easy, I'm like, oh, it's okay, right? And Sergio, my husband, is like, no, that's not okay. Like, sometimes, anyway. So you want to talk about that? Like, yeah. So as you're picking your product and your service, and you're choosing what you're passionate about. It's gonna come easy. So don't diminish that. What do you have to say? Don't devalue yourself. Exactly, Sonia. What do you say about being uncomfortable charging?
Well, I think and at first I had a really hard time with this, okay? And I'm a little extreme when it comes to things like this. My mind, again.
I become extreme in some things.
Yeah, so we all become extreme in some areas, and you probably have your own areas where you become extreme. I become extreme in I coach women for business, like privately, but I'll tell you this, like, I call them anchors, okay? And like one of the anchors that I like to use is, if you don't ask for the money, you're not going to get it. One, right? If you don't ask for the money, you're not going to get it. But what if you internally, and this it's an internal issue, okay? It's that for whatever reason, you don't feel good about what you're giving and asking for the money, okay? So it's almost like you almost rather give it away, even though you feel after this, like, resentment and like why, and then you have a tendency to want to do things, and then you do it, and then after you do it, you're like, why did I do that, or why did I charge that?
I'm gonna say something that I think you're gonna be able to spin off this. I have a feng shui couple that comes and helps me feng shui in my office, and we used to give away the classes for free. Okay, those of you guys come to my boot camp, don't ever ask me for that again, okay? But we used to give away the classes for free, and when Sergio was like, we gotta start charging. Okay, and we give them away for free for some other reasons. We're not going to get into this call. But then her name is Pamela. Pamela goes, you have to understand that when you're just giving things away for free, the energy is one direction.
Yeah.
And that other person that's receiving, even though they might be grateful, they feel a little weird because the energy is not flowing. It's not like, here's a product and they're giving you some financial, compensation. Here's some product, here's some money. And so then when somebody pays, there's a psychological, spiritual connection that they feel good about giving you whatever. If you're charging for the class or the product, they feel good. When you give something for free, it's like unconsciously you're saying, I don't think you value this, and I don't think you can afford it, or like, I don't think you're capable, so I'm just going to give it to you.
Well, what you're really saying, though, is I don't think I'm capable, and because of my limited mentality, I'm going to think that you can't afford it.
Exactly.
And it's your own limited mentality, right? So what you're saying is you're projecting yourself onto this person.
Wait, say that again. You guys really listen to that, okay?
Okay, so
I knew you were going to spin with that.
Yes.
So when she told me that, I was like, oh my gosh, she just told me the energy.
Yeah.
But what you're saying is I'm imposing my own limited beliefs.
Yes.
On your.
Yeah. So
say it again.
So like, for instance, I might have a lot of money and I could go like buy all these expensive makeups, and then I come to your gym, and then your limited mentality is I don't think they could afford it.
That's my issue.
That's your issue, but you don't even know you have that issue, right? I come to your gym and I'm like, oh wow, this class was great. And so you in your mind, you're thinking like, I hope she signs up. I hope she signs up, right? Scarcity mentality. I hope she signs up. Rather than thinking like, yeah, my classes are bomb.
Of course you're going to sign up.
Like, my classes are bomb. Of course she's going to want to be a part of this community. Like, look at everything we provide here. You're coming from a place of, I hope she signs up. I really need this client. And then, so you know what? I'm going to give this to you for like 75% off, because I don't know if you're going to take it. And then in my mind, I'm like, oh, okay, well, yeah, I'll take it. But then I'm going to go home, and then another person is going to come who's going to charge me like $300 for their boot camp. And I'm like, oh, yeah, that must be a badass boot camp. Let me sign up for that boot camp. And then I take my $300 and go over there. So she just projected her own fears and insecurity onto me.
Hold on. She just projected her own fears and insecurities onto her.
Absolutely.
Write that
Okay?
down.
Yes, write that down. So then what happens is, the way my mind works is I'm providing you like a service, like something that you really want, that's going to give you a huge result in the long run. We're not talking about, you're not going to just get a workout. Like, I'm going to help you change your life. Like, I'm going to help you change your life. So are you going to, I don't see it as I'm doing you like a favor. And then for me to tell you, like, it's going to be free. So this is where I learned the biggest lesson, you guys. So for many years, I invested in mentors, and I'm going to finish quickly. I invested in mentors, and I'm talking about this was not cheap. There was a mentor I had. I invested about $25,000, like up front, $25,000. He was like, if you want to coach with me, and I'll tell you, it paid off in my business. That's where my business like took off. But I'm gonna tell you this:
her business went from 0 to 6. Say it, Sylvia.
6 figures in like 1 year. Okay, but I'm gonna tell you this. Look, what happened was that I learned that men, they don't have that problem. Okay, they don't. That man was like, pay up, girl. And then I worked with another mentor. Most of my mentors were men because I have a strong energy and I work well like with men. Not that I don't work well with women. I work mainly all women. But I coach well with men when I get a mentor. But they don't have a problem asking for money. They're not thinking about, oh, she might not have it. She might this. They don't have that. They are thinking strictly business. What happens to us women sometimes is we associate too much of our own self into a cell, right? And so
our own self into a cell.
Yeah, so it's all of our insecurities are projected into that cell. Where like men don't do that. They're just kind of like, this is a transaction. I'm doing a business. Boom, sign, give me my money. Let's get to work, right? And then they're like,
the men on the chat are like, yep.
Yeah, exactly. You know, so what it is that they don't get all feelings and attached. Oh, well, pobrecita, you know, she might not have all the funds. And now it's like, I rather...
She's got kids.
Like, yeah, and then I'm like, well, I'll take some from my kid to give to your kid, right? So it's like now you're like projecting. But you got to remember at the end of the day, you're running a business and you're a businesswoman. And you can't associate being kind. Look at those laughs. I love it. You can't associate you being a businesswoman. If you want to give something away, that's different. Like we give things away.
Like this.
Exactly.
You know, but we're
right?
conscious about what we're doing.
Okay, so that is one thing. And you want to be aware. Like I could have a whole class on this topic. Because you don't want to operate a nonprofit unless you're operating a nonprofit. Okay? So yes, bam, bam. Thank you, ma'am. Yes, that's right. And we will talk more about this, but I know it's getting close to an end. We have 2 minutes. And this is such an awesome conversation because even if you already have a business and your business is suffering, this could be a big reason why, right? So, anything?
I love all the comments that are coming.
I love it.
Okay, guys. So, in conclusion, this is what you want to do. Let's wrap this up, okay? What are you passionate? If you don't have the document, okay, make sure you guys don't be sending me messages. I'm not going to email you one by one. Go in. The last post says Google Docs, okay? And so click on that, fill it out, and then tonight we'll send you yesterday's and today's thingies, okay? Now, what I want to say is this. Number one, what is your passion? What do you love that even if you didn't get paid, you would still do it? What do you love to do? What are you committed? So that way when the trenches come ups and downs, nothing's going to get you off your tracks. Number one. Number two, okay? What does that look like? What do you want your life and what do you want it to look and feel like? The reason is because tomorrow we're going to talk about marketing and brand. And it is in alignment with your values and your passion, okay? So this is something so key because you got to have your culture needs to align with that. And number three, okay, what is that product and service that you've wanted to create, but you haven't gotten the courage to do it? All right, now I'm going to just say this. She brought up a really good point. We're running out of time, but some of you need a community. Actually, no, all of us need a community to move our life forward. So we invite you to be part of our community, okay? We got lots of things going on. We have a 15-day challenge coming up. It's only $15. And what it is, it's a fitness challenge. But inside that fitness challenge, we provide all kinds of value for you. So for $15, you get Sylvia every Sunday, Olga every Thursday. You get workouts. You get all kinds of things to get you going into the health and fitness. And some of you guys are already in the health and fitness, yes, you can join. You just got to pay the $15, okay? And that's it. All right, so, bam, it's 12 o'clock. We're going to end this call, but before we end, we are going to raffle off yesterday's, thank you. We're going to raffle off yesterday's, what do you call that thing? Yeah, that thing.
The workbook and the thing that you're giving.
Yeah, but it was for every person that shared, okay? For every comment, you got a thing. For every share, you got 5 entries into this raffle. So which one do we want to do first?
The videos.
Okay. So here we go. So I'm going to put it, and you guys are going to have it. So if you have to log off, I understand it's 12 o'clock. We want to be respectful. But we want to also be honest about this. Oh, it's already in there. Perfect. So let's go here. All right, so here are the names. I'm going to shuffle the names. Okay, here's everybody that commented yesterday. And there's all the shares had 5 entries. Here we go. Ready? Okay, so the first one will be the videos. Here we go. Where do I fill the document? It's on the form inside
the page.
Who's that? Karina Day. All right, so here you are. Please reach out to us. Hi, Ray Tabison. Oh, my friend. Okay, so make sure you reach out to us, okay? And now, the workbook. Here we go. I love the 15-day challenge. Yes, Yami, they're awesome. Hey, my friend, Maria Pina. Awesome, guys. So make sure you reach out to us, both of you, so we can send you the things, okay? With that said, we will see you tomorrow at 11 o'clock.